Welcome to Jen Bell Yoga. I'm Jen. In this video, we're going to talk about Savasana. Savasana, also known as final relaxation, is supposedly the most difficult asana or pose in yoga. Now, it's difficult because the focus of Savasana is to steady the mind and to kind of ease away from the thinking mind. In this video, we're not going to go over the different ways you can start to focus and bring your attention inward. Instead, we're going to talk about the actual pose, the physical pose of Savasana. One way to be successful in a good Savasana is to be comfortable. So let's start with the eyes. You don't have to close your eyes. I know, I'm a yoga teacher and I have told my students for the longest time to close their eyes in Savasana. Now, granted, as long as you feel safe, closing your eyes is a great way to turn inward. If you don't feel safe, if you suffer from PTSD or have anxiety or just are in an area where it's loud and you feel discombobulated, it's okay to have your eyes slightly open. So try to soften your gaze, close your eyes maybe about halfway, and find one spot on the ceiling to focus on. For traditional Savasana, your legs go down on the mat, feet kind of relax open, or your legs relax open. Arms come alongside the body. You want to tuck those shoulders underneath, and then tuck the chin just a little bit so we lengthen our neck. Next, let's talk about these legs. This is not the most comfortable position for a lot of people. If you have an excessive lordotic curve, or if you have discomfort in your low back, this can make that worse. One of my favorite options, soles of the feet to the mat wider than your hips. I usually go about mat distance wide. Tuck that tailbone under so you're supporting the low back, and then allow the knees to fall inward so they rest on each other. My next favorite leg position, 𝐒𝐿𝐤𝐞. Soles of the feet together, knees relax open. Since the purpose of Savasana is to relax the body so you can relax the mind, sometimes going into 𝐒𝐿𝐤𝐞 or supine bound ankle pose can be a little bit more stressful on the body. So if you need a little extra support, placing blocks underneath the knees will make this a much more restorative practice. I like to tilt my blocks slightly so they match up exactly with the legs. You want to make sure though that your blocks are not going to slide out from underneath you. So hopefully they're connected to the mat or your floor is sticky enough to support your blocks. Now let's talk arms. Traditionally, arms come alongside the body with the palms facing up. There's, some history behind this. It's about being able to receive, but it also helps us take those shoulders away from the ears, which helps release the upper traps in the neck. But this isn't always most comfortable. Sometimes hands on the belly can be more comfortable, or one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, or both hands on the heart. Sometimes if you need that reminder to soften your belly as you breathe, hands on the belly can be a great way to do that. It can also be a great place to focus during your Savasana, noticing that wave of breath move up and down. Another option I like to throw in for my students is legs up the wall. If you're practicing at home or you have the space to do it, having your legs elevated can be a nice, relaxing way to end your practice. As you notice, I'm not flush up against the wall. That can be very uncomfortable if your hamstrings are tight. If you feel comfortable that way, then go ahead and scoot your bottom as close as you can to the wall. If you're an expecting mom, there might come a point in time during a pregnancy where you have to lie on your side. Now, despite what people tell you, whichever side you lie on depends on you and where your vena cava runs. So it doesn't mean that you can't lay on your right or you can't lie on your left. I personally could lay on both sides all the way through my twin pregnancy. I couldn't lay on my back after about 20 weeks. So for a pregnancy Savasana, you can fold up a blanket or grab a pillow if you have one handy and create some softness for your head. I like to have a bolster or a mat to support my backside, and then a bolster or mat between the legs. Another option for a prenatal Shavasana, or for anybody who cannot let their head dip below their heart, is one yoga block tall and another yoga block, sometimes you have to play around with this depending on your bolster, lying flat or kind of at that medium height. You're creating a ramp with your bolster, and then make sure that bottom block is there to help support. From here, just gently and very carefully lay back. And again, you can take any of the leg positions that we went over before. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more content.